The following program is underwritten by the Nevada Irrigation District. Since 1921, providing clean and healthy drinking and irrigation water to more than 24,000 homes, farms, schools, and businesses in Nevada and Placer counties.
Hi, Lou Sitzer, your host for NCTV Interviews, and I'd like to welcome Dr. Marc Halpern, founder and director of the California College of Ayurveda. And Marc and I have had a chance to get to know each other a little bit before the station show began. And it's going to be a tour, a little bit of medicine and health and East and West. We're going to learn a lot today. So to begin with, Marc, would you mind giving us a little intro to who you are, where you come from, and how you got started with the Ayurvedic medicine?
Sure, I'd be happy to, Lou. And thank you very much for having me on the show today. I'm the director of the California College of Ayurveda, and my original training was in chiropractic. That was how I got involved in healthcare. But my desire to help people to heal at the root cause of disease led me to go deeper. And I really wanted to understand, why is it that people get sick? What can we do in order to prevent people to get sick? And those who are sick, what can we really do to remove the root cause of disease? And that passion to understand that led me from chiropractic into alternative forms of holistic medicine and eventually into Ayurvedic medicine. And it was really there that I found that Ayurveda truly addressed the root cause of disease.
Now, a lot of people have never heard of Ayurvedic medicine. So this isn't something that just happened in California on the West Coast. There's a whole history and tradition. So fill us in.
Well, a lot of things happen in California, but Ayurveda has its origins in India. And Ayurveda is about 5,000 years old. And so it's considered to be the mother of all healing. It's the oldest system of healthcare in the world. As it spread from South India, it spread into China. It became the progenitor of Chinese medicine. It even spread eventually into the Middle East area and then into Greece. And it became the ancestor even of our own medicine. The writings of Hippocrates actually discuss aspects of Ayurvedic medicine. So Ayurvedic medicine has affected the healthcare system throughout the world. After thousands of years of practice in India, eventually Ayurveda left the borders of India and began to spread throughout the rest of the world, really about the mid-1980s. And by the middle of the 1990s, we had the first college of Ayurveda to open up outside of India.
And that opened up here in Grass Valley?
It did. It opened up here in Grass Valley in 1995, and it was the first school outside of India to actually train practitioners of Ayurvedic medicine.
So you're a pioneer, at least in the United States, and you have a school now. Tell us a little bit about what the school comprises of and students and courses.
Sure, the school is an educational center. It's a healing center, really an integration of both of those. We have students who come from all over the world to study Ayurvedic medicine for our 2- and 3-year programs. We also have a healthcare clinic where patients come to really for two purposes. One is for preventative medicine, and the other one is for clinical medicine for individuals who are sick and looking to get well. We also have a healthcare spa where people will come either for a day, sometimes for a week. We've even had patients stay for a month receiving ongoing body therapies at our spa.
Now, you yourself in your career were disabled for quite a while. Is Ayurvedic medicine something that you use to help cure your own condition?
Yeah, I was crippled with an autoimmune disease in 1987. I was really sick with that for quite a few years. And I was left with chronic fatigue for about 7 more years following that. Ayurvedic medicine helped me to rebuild the strength of my body internally so that I could rebuild my energy reserves, rebuild my ability to resist stress, and physically and emotionally, and really help me to be a much stronger individual and certainly pain-free. So yeah, Ayurveda has helped me a great deal, and I've watched as it's helped literally thousands of people get well.
So, you know, the word is sort of mysterious still. It's not, you know, it's not an English word. And I'm wondering if you could point to some of the themes that run through Ayurvedic medicine so that it's better understood as opposed to something out there that might be mysterious.
Well, you know, Ayurveda means the knowledge of life. That's what it means. So if you take it at face value, then the proper knowledge of life is necessary for proper health. So Ayurveda is a whole science of how to live so that you prevent disease. And Ayurveda understands that if you're living out of harmony, then the natural end result of that is to get sick. The healing process not only targets the illness, but also how we're living out of harmony. So that the healing process is one of lifestyle changes combined with the different medicines that we use in Ayurveda and the different treatments that we use in Ayurveda.
So as an example, let's say it could be something where people, maybe one person has difficulty sleeping or another person has perhaps a serious cancer. They come to you. What is your course of treatment?
Sure. Let me give you a simple example that I think really shows this well. We've had a patient once come into our clinic who was suffering from gastritis, severe burning, irritation and aching coming from the stomach. Now, we could give you could take an antacid, right? And you're going to feel a little bit better. You can take Tums or you can take any of the variety of pharmaceuticals that will help that. You take a look at the case history on the individual. How are you living your life? What we found was two factors that were contributing to this individual's condition. One of them was that he drank an extraordinary amount of coffee, and coffee is a gastric irritant. Second thing we found out is that he ate his meals in his car on the way to work. Now, we could have just given him herbs. We could have given him an herbal alternative to the pharmaceutical medicines, and he would have felt better. Okay? But I said to him, I said, look, I can give you these medicines, but do you want to get to the cause of the condition? He says, well, yeah, of course I want to get to the cause of the condition. I said, well, then let's look at adjusting your lifestyle. And so over time, I was able to help him to wean himself off of the coffee and also to actually sit down and eat so that he digested his food well. Mm-hmm. And the combination of the restriction in coffee plus sitting down in a calm manner and eating his food, his symptoms completely went away. He didn't even need to take the medicines. Mm-hmm. Now, I think that's a good example because every condition that we experience is our body telling us that something's out of harmony. And what you have to do, what we help you to do in Ayurvedic medicine, is look at your life. Look at the lifestyle you're leading to try to understand what's the connection between your behaviors and the conditions you're experiencing. And that's what I love about Ayurveda, is it truly gets to the cause of the condition. Sure, we have medicines in Ayurveda. We have a whole herbal pharmacy that we work with, and we have a wide variety of medicines. But the deeper healing has to do with adjusting one's lifestyle. And deeper than that still is the transformation of one's conscious awareness about who they are and how they're living in the world.
So could you talk for a moment about that philosophy of conscious awareness and how we live in the world? Because frankly, you look at our nation and we are overweight, fast food diets. I mean, everybody knows in a sense that we're living an unhealthy life, and yet we're not actively doing much about it.
Yeah. You know, it's really interesting because a lot of times we know what it is that we need to do to be well, and yet we don't do it. Most people know that if they just went to bed earlier, that they wouldn't be as tired in the morning, right? And a lot of people know that if they got up earlier and they went for a walk or they did some yoga or some meditation, they'd also feel better throughout the day. And yet it's so difficult to make that change that we need to make in our behaviors, because our behaviors are reflecting a very deep part of our consciousness. It's reflecting an aspect of how we identify who we are. I am a person who is very busy. I am a person who's too busy to to sit down and eat. I'm a person, I don't have any time in the morning to do my practices because I'm a very busy person. I'm a parent. I have all these different reasons and identifications about who I am and how I live my life. The healing process requires re-identifying ourselves as an individual with all the time in the world and the power to structure how we live that time. So it's not an easy thing to do.
Sometimes
and that's
hard to do if you're taking care of children and going to school and going to work, and because our society buzzes with that kind of activity and structure.
Yeah, we had that discussion in class the other day with our students. How do you actually support somebody who, when you look at their life, you look at it and you go, yeah, you're really busy. You have a lot going on. What do you say to the single mom with 3 kids and a full-time job? Right. How is it that you're going to find the extra time? Sometimes Ayurvedic counseling is more than just about diet, more than just about what herbs you're going to take. Sometimes it's about the choices you make in your life and the choices you can make in your life. So for instance, the counseling may involve in that scenario talking with the woman about carpooling and helping take some of the stress off her life by having the support to arrange the carpools. That's just a simple example of a way in which the stress could be taken off. You have to lift up every rock and look under it and say, what can we do within the structure that's there to try to reduce stress? And you'd be amazed in each person's life how much stress can be reduced if we become conscious participant in creating our lifestyle.
Well, you brought some wonderful images in. Would you like to start with the video or the images, still images?
Why don't we start with some of the still images, and then we'll take a look at the video of what happens at our spa and Panchakarma Center.
Great. So we'll now take a look at images that Marc brought in, starting with one of your facilities.
Yeah, this is the Lotus Center, and this is where the classes take place. That's a large classroom inside those walls right there. We have 3 buildings, and that's one of the 3.
And this is in Grass Valley?
This is in Grass Valley on East Main Street. We have a clinic, we have a spa, and we have a classroom, administrative offices. And this is inside of the spa. This is the reception area, and this is where we do a lot of the Ayurvedic massage techniques. We have special therapies called marma, which are energetic therapies.
And the courses that you have, is there an expected year or 2 years or 3-year completion where you receive something?
Yeah, we have courses as a practitioner in Ayurvedic medicine. We have courses just on the specialty of Ayurvedic body and massage therapy. And we also have some special yoga courses as well. So we have a wide variety of courses that we offer at the school. What you're looking at here is the herb department. We have about 200 different herbs in our department, and now we've flipped over to our booth at a street fair here in Grass Valley. And this is pulse diagnosis, which is an important part of Ayurvedic medicine. And here some students are being instructed by me when I used to have a beard. You won't recognize me in that picture. But they're being instructed in pulse diagnosis, which is very important for telling what's happening not only right now, but in Ayurveda, we're also interested in the balance of energy that was present at the moment of conception. And the difference between what's present now and what was present at the moment of conception helps us to understand the journey the patient has walked to get out of balance.
So you can actually get sort of a chronology, a history through pulses going back to inception?
Yeah, we really can. It's not the tool that you may be imagining in the sense that I can say, oh, when you were 7 years old, this happened, and when you were 12 years old, that happened. That kind of information can be gained from the pulse, but it's not unique to the pulse. That would be more gathering information through intuitive methods. This type of pulse diagnosis tells us what happened tells us what the ideal balance of energy is in the body at the moment of conception. We have a way of defining that energy from an Ayurvedic perspective in terms of one's constitution. That's the balance of 3 energies in the body called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Here you can see another, we just passed another slide of the pulse diagnosis being taught in class. And this is teaching in class about philosophy. This is just another shot from our classroom. But going back to the pulse for a minute, we can also tell from the pulse what's happening right now. This is one of our graduation classes. That's actually down in Southern California. We have a branch in Southern California. Right now it's in Cerritos, which is just south of Los Angeles. So we conduct classes here in Grass Valley, down in Southern California, and also a distance learning program. We have students now from all over the world.
So about how many students altogether would you say?
We enroll now close to 100 students a year, and we probably have 150 to 200 students enrolled in the college at any time. Yeah. This is inside of the Lotus Center, where we have our classroom. And behind me there, you can see Isha, who is one of the practitioners at our college, one of the graduate practitioners, and Aruna, who is one of the students at our college.
And would you say that there's a lot of interest on the West Coast with Eastern philosophy, Eastern practices, yoga being one of them, and a whole sort of alternative medicines. So I would assume that a lot of students or a lot of people are attracted to what you have to offer just because it's different. And so I noticed that the names of the two people pictured with you had kind of an Eastern sounding name. Do you find that people are drawn why are people drawn to this point, their philosophy?
Well, I think the reason people are drawn to it is because the knowledge of Ayurveda resonates very deeply inside a person. When you begin to study, you begin to realize that it makes perfect common sense. If you're feeling cold, have some hot tea. It's that simple sometimes, okay? It makes perfect sense. And we have students who come from yoga traditions who come and study at our school. We have students who come from medical traditions who come and study at our school. We have medical doctors, chiropractors, acupuncturists, and nurses. We have massage therapists who come. And we also have individuals who change careers in their 30s and 40s who used to be chefs or used to be contractors, and they're coming to our school too. I don't know that there's one reason or one attractive piece of Ayurvedic medicine. I think people relate to it from where they're at. But one of the things that I hear a lot from our students and from our patients is that it just makes sense. And what makes sense about it is that our diseases are caused by living out of harmony. And by learning to live in harmony, we can begin to get well. That makes sense to people. The other thing that makes sense to people is the idea that we should begin when we're sick with the least invasive therapies. And when they don't work, then you need the stronger therapies. And so the first choice for healthcare really ought to be lifestyle adjustments. The second choice really ought to be herbal or homeopathic remedies. The next choice on down the line would be pharmaceutical drugs and eventually surgery. So there's just a common sense to the approach that we take in Ayurvedic medicine. And by the way, we're not at all opposed to Western medicine, and we work alongside we work alongside with medical doctors on patients who are under medical care.
So you interface with the medical community here.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have many patients who are really practicing integrative medicine in the sense that they're integrating Eastern and Western medicine.
All right. Maybe this would be a good time to look at the video.
Sure.
And we can see some of the methods in practice.
Sure. This is a wonderful video about what happens at our spa and Panchakarma Center, which is a purification program.
Hidden within the tall pine trees of the Sierra foothills, 1 hour from Lake Tahoe and Sacramento, is a very special place of healing. Respected throughout the world, the California College of Ayurveda is a leading center of rejuvenation, panchakarma, and education. Hello, my name is Vanessa Kuruchet, and I am a student of the California College of Ayurveda. I'm very happy to share with you today the knowledge, beauty, and wholeness of Ayurveda. While the California College of Ayurveda is an international leader in Ayurvedic education, we also offer some of the most authentic, beautiful, and nourishing body therapy treatments. Similar treatments are performed at some of the world's most exotic spas. Here at the California College of Ayurveda, you will receive the highest quality of care and personal attention. Whether you come to the CCA clinic for a rejuvenation experience or for deep purification, you can be sure that you are receiving the highest quality of care. At the Spa and Panchakarma Center, you will be able to relax and let go of the dramas of everyday life. Healing is more than touch. It's a multi-sensory experience. This is Aruna. Today she will be receiving a series of treatment affectionately called Bliss Therapy. She has agreed to let us follow along. You are watching an Ayurvedic massage, traditionally known as Abhyanga. This is a two-person choreographed dance as 4 hands bring balance to the energies of the body. For the patient, this is a journey into bliss. The oils that are being used have been blended specifically to her unique balance of energy. This massage will last from 1 to 1.5 hours. Already deeply relaxed, Aruna is now ready to go deeper within. This is Shirodhara. Inside the bowl is warm oil that has been infused with herbs that help to quiet the body and the mind. The beautifully prepared oil flows over the forehead and 6th chakra, bringing complete mental rejuvenation. Like the massage oil, this herbal oil is prepared individually for each patient at our center. This wonderful treatment will last from 20 to 45 minutes. Balanced and nourished by the Ayurvedic massage and her mind quieted by Shirodhara, Aruna is now ready for an herbal steam treatment. These herbs have been picked specially for Aruna to support her healing process. They are placed inside the heating unit. As the water boils and steam rises, the quality of these herbs will enter the steam tent. The herbal steam is now filling the tent. The warm environment helps her to relax even more. Sweat opens the pores of the body and is an aid to purification. This deeply relaxing therapy lasts from 10 to 15 minutes. Whether you come to the California College for a day, a week, or a month of treatments, your experience will be very peaceful, nurturing, and healing.
Well, I can certainly see how the treatments can be very relaxing and address the condition that we seem to live in here in the world today, and that is the speed and intensity of life, and how to sort of live in harmony, as you would say, when so much of life seems to be out of harmony. I mean, we could probably do a program on, what's wrong with the world, but you're really involved in addressing how to adjust to the world situation and our daily situation.
Well, there's really 2 things we have to do. One of them is we have to change our lifestyle. So the Ayurvedic counseling work that we do helps people to change their lifestyle. At the same time, we have to rejuvenate our bodies, oftentimes from the incredibly stressful lives that we've been living and the disharmony that's been around us. What you just saw was really it's what we call rejuvenation therapy or bliss therapy. It's the process of restoring the body and the mind to balance and also building up the internal energy. You can spend a couple of hours at our center, and it's like several days at on a vacation where you're relaxing. It's really, the treatments are really quite beautiful and quite wonderful. So really, yeah, you have to do both. You have to change your lifestyle, but you also have to go through the healing process. Now, our therapies not only include those body therapies that you just saw, but we also do herbal therapy, dietary therapy, and part of our programs also incorporate color therapy, sound therapy, which includes music and also mantras, because this comes from a yogic tradition, and also aromatherapy. So we really do use quite a few different treatments and treatment modalities with our patients.
Now, a lot of this may sound strange to American viewers or local viewers, but if one were to travel the world, I mean, I encountered aromatherapy throughout Europe, England, Eastern Europe. I mean, it was a common practice, and so was holistic and homeopathic treatments. So I think that in America, we're still being introduced to a lot of these techniques and approaches.
And again, you know, the concept makes common sense, and everybody can really relate to it if they sit and stop and just reflect upon it. How do we feel when we walk through a garden? Right? Why do we feel that way? Mm-hmm. It has to do with what we're looking at and what we're smelling. Right? There's color therapy happening, and there's aromatherapy happening. Ayurveda takes it further, and Ayurveda can match up what aromas and what colors are right for each individual for bringing about balance, bringing about harmony. Just as we do with diet and food programs, nothing is right for everyone. Ayurveda can help an individual understand what kind of foods are balanced for them and which ones will cause an imbalance. And it's not as simple as, oh, you know, everybody should avoid white sugar. Really, it's much more detailed than that. We can look at vegetables and we understand them individually. What vegetables will be balanced for you? What grains will be balanced for you? What fruits? What spices? It's really quite detailed. And,
comprehensive.
It's comprehensive, and it not only helps people to restore optimum weight, it also helps people to restore optimum health.
Well, at this point, I'd love to go on talking because there's much more to cover, but I wanted to be sure that people know how to get in touch with Dr. Marc Halpern, California College of Ayurveda, and there's a website, a phone number, and the clinic is available to people as well as coursework.
Yeah, and our courses start in October. We have our new semester beginning in October. And we're currently completing the application process for the students who will be participating in that class. So if any of your viewers are interested, please have them contact our school.
Great. Well, thank you, Dr. Marc Halpern, California College of Ayurveda, in our community since 1995. So thanks for being here, and thank you to Gail Woodman and Mike Leach and Marilyn Blom and Bill Carquest, our crew. Come and see what NCTV is about. Become a member, do a show, be on TV. Thanks a lot.